Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the sheer, heart-stopping chaos of the 2026 World Cup Round of 32. We're going to unpack two specific matches that completely define the high-stakes, sudden-death reality of tournament football. If you want to really grasp the mechanics of a historic upset and feel the intense, unforgiving pressure of the knockout stages, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get right into it. I want to kick things off by posing a question directly to you. What actually makes the World Cup so magical? Is it the tactical masterclasses? The global superstars? I mean, sure, it's those things, but let's be real. Mostly, it's the raw, unfiltered tension. It's the fact that in a span of just 90 minutes or a grueling 120 minutes, absolute unpredictability reigns supreme. The script can be flipped in literally a second, and massive giants can be brought to their knees by teams you barely even knew existed. Just listen to commentator Simon Brotherton reacting live to the madness in Miami. A sensation in Miami. The Cinderella story goes on. You can hear the pure shock, right? Those words perfectly capture the awe that defined this particular day of football. When a seasoned commentator is screaming about a Cinderella story, you know for sure the tournament has delivered something truly special. Section 1. Welcome to the knockouts, where one mistake sends you home. Moving to Section 2. Egypt's historic penalty triumph, breaking a decades-long drought. Okay, I need you to let this staggering number sink in for a second. 92. That is exactly how many years it's been since 1934. For 92 long years, the Egyptian national team and their absolutely devoted fans have waited to reach the last 16 of a World Cup. Generations of players have come and gone, carrying the immense weight of that drought. So when they stepped onto the pitch against Australia, they weren't just playing 11 other guys. No, they were playing against nearly a century of history. And things started off brilliantly for Egypt. Early in the first half, Imam Ashur nets a fantastic header, his second goal of the tournament. They're totally in control. But then, well, you know how tournament football is. Momentum shifts violently. In the 55th minute, absolute disaster strikes for Egypt. Mohamed Hani inadvertently heads the ball into his own net, gifting Australia the equalizer. The tension is just palpable as these two teams grind through the rest of regular time and then extra time. Finally, in the 119th minute, with literally 1 minute left before penalties, Australia rolls the dice on a massive gamble. They sub out their starting goalkeeper, Patrick Beach, who, by the way, had just made a fantastic save, and they bring on veteran Matt Ryan specifically for the shootout. So, about that massive gamble, it completely backfired. Egypt was ice cold, scoring a perfect 4 out of 4 in the shootout, while Australia managed only 2. The strategy to bring on Matt Ryan clearly failed to intimidate the Egyptians. On top of that, Australia's Harry Souttar and Lucas Harrington both missed their crucial spot kicks. It was utter heartbreak for the Socceroos, but it sealed Egypt's incredibly emotional victory and finally ended that agonizing 92-year wait. All right, Section 3. The ultimate mismatch. Defending champions face the debutantes. The juxtaposition of this matchup frames the most perfect David versus Goliath narrative you could ask for. In one corner, you've got Argentina, the global soccer giants, the defending world champions, led by the legendary captain Lionel Messi. And in the other corner, Cape Verde, the ultimate underdogs, making their tournament debut. They're the third smallest nation by population to ever qualify for a World Cup, and they're relying on a 40-year-old goalkeeper named Vasinha. On paper, this shouldn't even be a contest. Section 4. The Cinderella Scare. Ripping up the script in Miami. Now, initially, things went exactly as expected. In the 29th minute, Lionel Messi controls a pass and fires a well-hit shot past Vasinha to grab his milestone 20th World Cup goal. Normal service appeared to be resuming, right? The champions were up 1-0, dominating the possession, and it really seemed like a straightforward, routine path to the round of 16. But then, boom, this absolute bombshell hits the live blogs. Cape Verde have tied it. We're in the 59th minute, approaching the hour mark, and the tournament debutants, who honestly had created next to nothing in the attacking third all game, suddenly find an equalizer through Deroy Duarte. The sheer shockwaves of this moment were felt globally. The absolute smallest of underdogs had just bitten the mighty champions. To really understand how they managed to break through that elite defense, listen to this description from former international James McFadden. He takes a good first touch and fires it through the legs of Lisandro Martinez, and Emi Martinez has no chance. The fairy tale continues. Think about that. Duarte literally nutmegged a world-class Argentinian defender to beat a world-class Argentinian goalkeeper. That single, brilliant moment forced the heavy favorites into an absolute panic. Section 5. Extra time survival, over 100 minutes to decide a winner. So regular time ends in that shocking 1-1 deadlock. But right away in the 92nd minute, the very beginning of extra time, Lisandro Martinez, the exact same defender who was nutmegged for Cape Verde's goal, finds immediate redemption. He takes one touch to control the ball and absolutely smashes it into the roof of the net. It was a Brutus sucker punch that finally put an end to Cape Verde's fairy tale run, allowing Argentina to narrowly survive with a 2-1 victory. This entire day brilliantly illustrates the beautiful, cruel reality of sudden death football. A tournament format where a single loss results in immediate elimination. Why does this matter to us as fans? Because it artificially amplifies the tension to the absolute maximum. It creates an environment where a team that has waited 92 agonizing years can win on a coin flip penalty shootout, and where a tiny island nation can push the defending champions to the absolute brink of elimination. Section 6. The magic lives on. Setting the stage for the round of 16. You've got to admit, there is pure poetry in this World Cup bracket. On one side, the giant survives. Argentina narrowly averted what would have been one of the biggest disasters in their sporting history. On the other side, the underdog advances. Egypt finally broke through a 92-year wall of heartbreak to reach the final 16. And the really beautiful design of this tournament means that because they both won, they're actually going to face each other next. Which leaves us with this absolutely massive, provocative question for the next round. Will Egypt's historic 92-year momentum be enough to topple a surviving but clearly vulnerable defending champion? Argentina survived their scare, but Egypt is riding the emotional high of a century. What you should definitely take away from this explainer today is that in the World Cup knockout stages, absolutely nothing is guaranteed. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and enjoy the rest of the tournament.